To set up what seems to be a unique 2022 edition of Wimbledon, I'm joined by Nandan Bal, former Davis Cupper and coach of the Indian men's team. Nandan is also the Chairman of Selectors for the All India Tennis Association. It's pretty apt that Nandan joins me from the vicinity of a tennis court in Mumbai. Nandan, pretty quick turnaround between the French and the championships, and very different skill sets are needed on both surfaces. Perhaps that explains why, after the great Bjorn Borg, there is only Roger Federer in 2009, Rafael Nadal in 2010, and Novak Djokovic last year, who've gone on and done the double.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking of two totally different surfaces. You know, you're going from the slow clay courts of France and Europe, and straight away from there, within a matter of 2 to 3 weeks, you're expected to play on lightning fast, or well, fairly fast, low bouncing grass courts in England. It is obviously a huge turnaround, and it needs to, you know, it takes a champion to be able to turn it around, turn his game around, fine tune his game to the new surface, and still be able to win, you know, 7 back-to-back matches, first at the French and then in England at Wimbledon. And like you said, it's just 4 guys who've done it, and those 4 guys are all legends of the game. So it's only a true champion who would be able to do something like that.
Okay, Nandan, let's address the elephant in the room, the ban on Russian and Belarusian players, and then the withdrawal of the ranking points. Who do you think comes across as the more guilty party here, the tours or the All England Club?
It can't be the pros. I mean, at the end of the day, you know, it wasn't the pros that declared the war between the two nations, and I honestly don't believe that they should be punished for something which was not of their doing. I think what they have done is a sort of in retaliation to what the All England Club did. So the All England Club obviously must have had their own pressure that they had to deal with, and they came across and, you know, did what they had to do, and then the players just retaliated and said, okay, in that case, we are going to do what we are going to do. And I think it's just sad for the game. You know, that being said, I mean, I honestly don't know what happens if, say, Nadal wins it. Does it count as a 23rd slam, or does it not? Or, you know, forget the points, or for example, even if you take the points, even if Djokovic wins this one, you know he's going to hurt because he's going to lose all those points from last year, and he's not going to make it this year. So the players definitely have a lot more to lose. But, you know, at the end of the day, it's a great thing that they're still out there, they're still playing, and, you know, it's going to be played to full capacity. So the only winners out there, I think, are going to be the spectators.
And also, Nandan, those of us who love watching Wimbledon on TV, it's a summer sort of a thing which happens every year. But you spoke of Djokovic, and he could fall down to number 7 by mid-July. The stakes seem pretty much higher for him than probably any other player in the men's draw, because Nadal now has a lead of 2 in the race to be the greatest of all time. I know I was speaking to Mahesh Bhupati after the French, and he said that a gap of 3 will be difficult to haul back, with the next generation sort of poised to take over. They're very close at the moment.
That's correct. That's absolutely right. I think, I mean, obviously Mahesh knows this tennis. He's been at it for the last 30 years. But there's no question about the fact that the next generation is coming closer. It's sad what happened at the French Open with Zverev, because that was a match that could have showed us, you know, what the next generation was going to be up to and what they were capable of doing. But the way it ended was sad, and now he's out for a few months. But that being said, there's still the other lot. There's Medvedev, there's Tsitsipas, there's Shapovalov, so many other guys who are now stepping up and are going to be, up there. You've already seen that, you know, between, at the end of Wimbledon, all, Federer as well as Djokovic are going to be out of the top 3. Well, Federer already is. And Nadal, of course, will be there for a while. But, even there, it's only a matter of time before the next gen takes on the 3 champions, and, they have to make way for the new generation.
We speak about 3 champions. There are just the 3 Wimbledon champions in the draw, with Nadal, Djokovic, and obviously Andy Murray, but you don't know how far his body can hold up. But the removal of the Russians means that you have the likes of Casper Ruud, Stefano Tsitsipas, Hurkacz, and Matteo Berrettini, who've got higher seedings, and probably this is their best chance of a first Grand Slam title.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, if you look at what's been going on in the last few Grand Slams, even if Federer is not there, it's still been one of Nadal and or Djokovic who are dominating at the end of the tournament. So, I mean, even today, I would still say that Djokovic at number one and Nadal at number two would probably be still be the favorites to play each other in the finals. But then, I mean, if you go a little further down the draw, and I think the next two seeds are, I think, Ruud and Tsitsipas. And I honestly don't see either of them being in the semis, especially Ruud. I mean, Ruud has been very vocal about the fact that he just doesn't like playing in grass. Yeah, Tsitsipas has had some good matches, but he hasn't had a great season. So those two are out. And then you have the next three. I think in the next three, Alcaraz is a guy who is still not proved himself. You know, he was expected to do well at the French, but I think he went out in the last 16. So there again, if on his favorite surface, if he's not doing that great, then what chance does he have on a surface that he's certainly not very comfortable on? And then you certainly have Hurkacz and you have Berrettini. And I honestly feel that Berrettini would have the right game. He has the right combination of the big serve and the big forehand to dominate on grass. He's been there before. He's been in, on center court on the final day before. So, amongst all these guys, I would still say Berrettini is the guy that one would have to look for if you're looking for a dark horse.
You know, we're speaking about the Berrettinis, the Tsitsipases, the Casper Ruuds, but we're ignoring the great Nadal in all of this. Clearly, he believes he can win. That's why he has turned up after what he sort of alluded to at the French, that his foot problem could end up costing him much more. He hasn't played much on the surface in the last 3 years. And in that opinion, Nandan, does that make him more dangerous because he's got nothing to lose?
Yeah, well, he is dangerous on any court, any surface. I mean, he's proved it time and again, whether it was the US Open on hard or grass on Wimbledon. I mean, at the beginning of his career, everybody said he was a one-surface player. And all of a sudden now he's the guy who's won more Grand Slams than any other player in the history of the game. So you cannot ever rule him out. And I think if he gets 2 or 3 decent first, second, third rounds, I think he's going to be in good shape, provided his physical fitness levels hold out. I think he's going to be in great shape because, once these guys get into the second week, nobody's tougher than them mentally. Emotionally, mentally, they know they're at the end of their career. And like you said, they have nothing more to prove. They have nothing more to lose. So they're going to be going, guns blazing. No question about that.
Yes, let's not forget the French, where he started gingerly and then we all know how he blew Casper Ruud away in the final. Let's head over to the women's draw. The big buzz, Nandan, coming out of there is the return of Serena Williams. It's probably asking too much, but let's not forget, let's remember Goran Ivanisevic, who won Wimbledon as a wild card many, many years ago. Do you think this is the last hurrah for the great Serena?
Yeah, unfortunately, yes. I would tend to think that at this point in time, one could not say that Serena would be a favorite to certainly win the title. It will all depend on how her draw goes. Like I said, these champions need only 2 or 3 good matches to get into their groove. Once they get into their groove, they are, they are kind of unbeatable, especially at the big events like the slams. So I think somebody like Serena, if she can get past her second or third round and gets into a groove, she is going to be difficult, but she is, age certainly is not favorable to her. Hasn't played a match, what is it, since she retired from Wimbledon? Was it last year or 2 years back, whatever it was? So, to just go out and, you're not, the younger girls are not there just for the show. They're out there to prove themselves. You have Sakari, you have Pliskova, who was in the finals last year. You have the new girls, you have Badosa, you have Segula, all these girls. Pegula. At the end of the day, even with Barty not there, I would still today say that Swiatek would be the absolute favorite to win the women's. Because I mean, she's on a huge winning streak. She's on a huge winning streak, and the way, the comfort with which she has won every match she's played over the last few months. What is it? It's around 30, 35 matches now. I think it's around 35 matches. And that's, 35 matches. And that kind of a streak is unbelievable. I know she's not been great on grass. I think she lost third or fourth round last year. I think it was the pre-quarters. So, the odds are not with her, but she has won Junior Wimbledon before. 4 years back, she did win Junior Wimbledon. So she knows that she can play on grass. And with the kind of confidence she's carrying, she would have to be the favorite. I mean, if you look at that whole women's draw, there's really nobody there that you could say is a real grass court player. So it's only a question of who adapts better to play on grass than what they did on clay a few weeks back. And to me, I think Swiatek has the kind of game to adapt, which I'm not too sure if the others haven't. You actually have a lot of ex-players there who could win on their day. You have Simona Halep, you have Serena Williams. There's a bunch of them out there who can play on clay, who can play on grass. But all that being said, I think Swiatek is going to carry a lot of confidence and self-confidence in there, and with very surely would be able to adapt her game to playing on grass.
Okay, on that note, I'll end this chat. Thank you, Nandan, for helping us set this up. Clearly, this is the most keenly contested exhibition tournament that I've ever seen.
Without a doubt, Diggy. Thanks so much.